Yakuza 5 is the latest installment in the Yakuza franchise to make its way to the West, and is one of the last major PS3 games to be hitting the system. While the game on a technical level seems to be a bit lacking due to the hardware of the PS3, the game is still an enjoyable experience from start to finish and everything else in between. The story of Yakuza 5 takes place a few months after the events of Yakuza 4. Kazuma Kiryu is now working as a taxi driver as a retired Yakuza. However, he is quickly dragged back into the Yakuza life when the current chairman of his former gang goes missing, and an all-out war between the different Yakuza gangs seem imminent. So Kiryu comes out of retirement to bring order to the Tojo clan and other Yakuza gangs, hopefully for the last time. The game's story, while on paper may not seem too exciting, is a wonderful experience from the start to the end. Even when the story at times began to slow down, there was never truly a dull moment in the game's story. The game is also divided up into several different arcs, each one having their own story that somehow ties into the game's overall plot, each one starring different characters with their own story on why they got to where they are now. This is where I became engrossed with the game's overall story. Seeing the events unfold from many different viewpoints while the characters tackled their own problems was a great way to get the player invested. The Yakuza series is known for its fast-paced beat-em-up action fighting scenes. In this game, they do not disappoint at all. Each fight I found myself in, I had a blast going through taking down any enemy that came in my way. The many different combos and moves you could perform and unlock made sure the game's combat never truly felt repetitive and stale, and when the time came, the game knew when to up the challenges of the fights at different boss battles. The next thing I really enjoyed about this game was the sheer amount of things you can do. There are a total of 5 cities you can explore through, each one big enough to be an overworld for their own game. In these cities, the world is your oyster. There is so much you can do. You can go to hostess clubs to play in an intricate dating simulator, have first-person snowball fights, race chickens, play rhythm games at the karaoke bars, take part in the Street Fighter tournaments, playing Crazy Taxi, to busting down street racing gangs, and the list goes on what you can do. The best part is, each of these mini-games are so well fleshed out, they feel like their own experience separate from the game, and they add a nice break from the fighting and the game's main story. To put it into retrospective of how much there is to do in this game, at 40 hours in, I was only 4% done with the overall game. There is so much you can do. Overall, Yakuza 5 is a tremendous experience from start to finish. It is a shame that the game is held back by the technical limitations of the PS3, as there are quite a few graphical glitches, pop-ins, and frame rate drops outside of combat that at times can take you out of the experience. However, from the engrossing story to the sheer multitude of things you can do, to the fluid and fun beat-em-up fighting combat, Yakuza 5 is a great game that is definitely worth your time to play. Whether you be new to the Yakuza series or someone who needs a game to hold them over till Yakuza 0, this is the game for you. And that does it for a Yakuza 5 review. If you want to see a more detailed and in-depth review, there's a link to the written review in the description bar down below. Also, if you have any questions about the game, please let me know. I'll do my best as I can to answer them. I think Yakuza 5 is really a tremendous game, and I want to go back and play some more of it right now. So, yeah, as always everyone, this is Gamelad signing off, and I'm about to go play me some more Yakuza 5.